Now then, how are you? Welcome to Bennett's Kitchen Beyond the Block, episode 7, with my good friend Harry Johns. We're going to look today at his twist on a Mexican-style pork butt. These have been selling really, really well. $7.99 on Super Sunday.
For all that?
For all that, boneless. I get them at a fair price. That's what I do. I get it at a fair price, I sell it at a fair price.
Yeah, sounds
See
good.
what you can do with it.
Yeah, big time. So, pulled pork, everyone loves pulled pork. And my training is Mexican food. So, when I got taught how to make pulled pork, it was a sort of special way using loads of citrus, red wine, chilies, and you can't mess it up. You can't mess it up. So we're gonna take the whole thing out there. And
this is a totally lean piece of pork, top side for a better word, but we describe it as a Boston butt.
Yeah, beautiful.
But you won't get any fat whatsoever really, apart from this little bit of sinew on outside. But.
So I've just got a pan, medium high, splash of oil, nothing. Now, I don't know if you're gonna wince of this, but I'm just gonna start cutting this into cubes about that size. And I'm just gonna stick it in like that, into a pan, a little bit of oil. Now I'd say, honestly, this whole thing is gonna feed 6 people.
Yeah.
The yield off pulled pork's amazing, which is I think one of the best things about it. Exactly. And once all the citrus and the juices and stuff come together, now it's a slow cook, but if you're in all day, maybe it's raining outside, you know, just take your time with it and you'll get a really, really amazing product out of it. So all I'm doing is just getting a bit of colour. Just a bit of colour, real rough chops. Because
what type of temperature do you cook that on once it goes in the oven then?
So low and slow. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover it really tight with foil, which is gonna keep all the moisture in, all the flavour in, but also all the heat in. So that should do you a few favours. But I'd say 175.
And is that type of temperature? So say you're getting up, going to work.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to burn. It's like
and there's going to be
it in all day.
Absolutely, and this is exactly what I'm doing now. If you've got a slow cooker at home, perfect. Yeah. Exactly what I'm doing. Works in a slow cooker. Go to work, come back, sound. So all I'm doing, I'm crowding the pan to be honest, which I shouldn't do, but I'm just getting a bit of colour on that pork there.
Some serious meat in that pan.
And then maybe a little splash of salt, bit of pepper, and we're just gonna move it around the pan. We're just gonna get a little bit of colour. There we go. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're not cooking it, we're just giving it a little bit of, exactly.
Is that what we call browning?
Just browning it, just getting it started. And to be completely honest, if you didn't do this, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But when heat hits meat and this browning happens, it's called a Maillard reaction, and it is the best way of describing it is it just makes stuff taste great. So we just want a bit of brown. Okay, so we've browned our meat. It's pretty much there. And we're gonna get a oven-proof dish of any kind, really. And as you can see, like, it's not perfect, but the great thing about this recipe...
Got a lot of cooking to do though, hasn't it?
Exactly,
You can't have to worry at that time.
Exactly, let's not worry about it, basically. So that's in there. Now, in any order we like, we're gonna get some orange juice in there. Just chuck it in. As much as you like. Salt, pepper.
All of it.
Well, this is the thing. For me, if you want to afford it, yeah, stick a whole thing in. But also you could use half and then half stock, or even just water, because we're going to be cooking it for so long that all these flavors are going to come out in their own way. So then we're just going to take this big cannonball onion, real rough. We're using this for flavor, not to actually eat bits of onion. Do you know what I mean? This is definitely one of those recipes where you get your hands dirty. Let's get a chili down the middle. At this point, as I'm sure you already know, the seeds and the pith, the white stuff, is what makes a chili spicy. So,
is it?
Yeah, not this bit. So if you don't want it spicy, run your finger through it. Easy as. Yeah. Okay, so orange juice, chili, onion. This is a bit of a cheaty thing, I'll be honest, but just a big squeeze of hot sauce. If you want, this is the beauty. If you don't like orange juice, don't use it. If you don't like hot sauce, don't use it. All right, some weird stuff, a lime. just cut into 4/4, stick that in there. And then lastly, whole garlic, skin and all,
Bang it in.
lengthways, just get it in. And then this is my favorite bit. Just give it a big old massage. And then we're ready to wrap it in foil. At this point, if you were gonna make loads more, you could stick some stock in, or just like water or whatever is gonna be fine with this one. But we're just creating these sort of base flavors, and because we're gonna be cooking it for at least 2.5 hours, we've got more than enough time for the meat to take on all these flavors, do you know what I mean? We're just gonna wrap it real tight. This is really important that we don't just wrap it once, we're gonna wrap it twice. Again, we wanna keep all the moisture in. We don't wanna lose any of those juices. And we want an even cook. So, 175 in the oven.
Right, we'll have a look at your special Mexican orange juice pulled pork.
So basically, this has been in the oven for a couple of hours. Now, let's be completely honest. We could give it an extra hour, we could probably give it an extra 2. All it's gonna happen is it's gonna be more tender, it's gonna do that whole falling apart thing, but time's not on our side today. So, it's definitely gonna be tender enough, and it's definitely gonna be flavorful. So we've got this pulled pork, these pork pieces, which as you can see, will just fall apart easily like that. Perfect. And with this, even if time isn't on your side and you have only got a couple of hours, this is perfectly edible and will taste great. What I would do as well is I'd pour out a little bit of the orange juice and I'd just run it on a hot heat and just reduce it a little bit so it's a little bit thicker and syrupy. Stick it back in. Beautiful. What you could even do, you can get away with this, is whilst you're preparing the rest of the meal, just have that.
Let that reduce down.
And just let that reduce down, exactly that. So that is just gonna be sound. So it's cooked. All we want now is to just lock in that flavor, reduce it down, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, basically. Make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Sort the rest of your meal out.
And what would you be having that way? Tacos or?
Tacos is a good shout. I think this is a really good summer meal. Again, like just a nice brioche bun, some red onion, a big pile of pork. Yeah.
So that's the quantity we're getting out of a Boston butt. They're on the $7.99. $7.99, and once this is pulled out, you stuff with it, bits and bats, you've got a fantastic meal for 6 people for what? The most it can cost you is 12 quid, and you're getting some real quality. So check out the Boston butt. It's on Super Sunday every week. They do it barbecue or plain. It's even a great joint roasted, but try out this. I think what you've done here with this is great. I'm sure that when you've gone, we'll eat it.